It's day 19 of designing a Pokopia Cloud Island in 30 days. Yesterday we built all of this. We have a new train station, we have a new fossil digging site. I forgot how to get off the train. And yeah, we kind of stopped here. It was kind of just the start of building a new town, basically. Today, I'm hoping to flesh it out a bit more, maybe even be able to call it like done for now. At least my version of done. My version of done right now has basically been, okay, I have most of it built, I'm gonna move on. And then hopefully I come back and decorate it more. So if I can get it to that point today, I'll be pretty happy. So I do have some ideas for today, and we will be unveiling the power plant today as well. But my first big order of business is going to be to start to lay out this town a little more, because what I would like to do is get some power running, and for that, I'm actually going to need some Pokemon to help me. The first thing I want to make sure that I get done today is I want to set up a proper entrance or exit or whatever you want to call it, a proper path from the train station over to the main dig site area, basically this crafting area, things like that. And the thing that makes the most sense right now, I was thinking about putting a path out here, but that would require putting some like supports under this mountain, stuff like that. It'd look a little bit meh. I think the easiest thing to do would just be to have it come from here, have it be 3 tiles wide, and just have it go down and then back up to here. Oh, wow. We're about to get a feather right here. So that is what I'm going to kind of terraform for. That's the idea right now. I don't have a lot of this grass. And I also just realized there's 2 different types of this grass on me. I have dry alpine grass and dry field grass. I'm certain I've been mixing those up. As long as I don't get wet, it shouldn't matter. But I'm pretty sure that I have been, consistently using both instead of just one. I've not been very careful. Speaking of getting the grass wet, what am I supposed to do here? I don't have any dry stones right now to like dry this back out. I think there are mechanics for drying out land, maybe beyond the dry stone or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I guess I'll just have to leave that like that. If I ever wanted to rain too, what am I supposed to do? Just have my fossil area not look really cool and deserty anymore? Like, what am I supposed to... This was a bad idea for a biome for them. I don't know why they did it this way. Like, seriously, there should just be yellow grass. Anyway, I made some steps. I need to figure out a path. I also need lumber. I need to go grab my bricks that I had started. So let me go on a supply run real quick. Today, as always, is pretty disorganized. Okay, so back with some supplies. And for this one, I was thinking about it, I think, in case it rains. And, my paths end up having to change and stuff. I think gravel would work pretty well for a path here. So we are just going to use straight up gravel paths. Now that I know how to get gravel really easily, this makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, it just feels like a good path kind of block here. So that's what we're going to do. And it's going to go all the way over to here and basically kind of meet up with the crafting station. I think maybe it can come out to the entrance of the tent. So it could maybe look something like that. And I might raise it up a block just because... I don't know. I just feel like having it spill right into the fossil dig site area is not great. If the train station was actually placed like a tile or 2 back, that would be ideal. Or I guess I could move the dig site area over here. That'd probably be a little bit easier, but I'm kind of dealing with some constraints because I have a cliff over here, so I can't move it too much. And I'm not moving this whole train station. That's just not happening. So here's what we'll do. Let me actually change this bottom layer of gravel here to dirt. Oh, I only have one of these barren ordinary soil blocks at the moment. So actually let me come down here and I guess just steal some of the stuff that's going to get hidden underneath the pyramid build anyway. And we'll just kind of use it like this. We'll kind of cover up this gravel to take it back and then place down a new layer of gravel right up here. And then wooden stairs to kind of give us some ramps, making it easier to walk. These look good. But yeah, it definitely does not feel good to have the dig site so close to this path. Like, I really do want some blocks here separating these. I'd like to put a fence next to it. So I'm gonna have to move some stuff around. So starting with just adding some dirt right here, that makes it easy for me to kind of add a fence. I don't like how the crates are now kind of tucked in here. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So I'm going to pick this stuff up and I'm just going to bulk up this area with more dirt and grass. Something like that will make it easier for me to work. And I can even throw some grass up here. If the stairs are a little exposed, maybe I'll be okay with that. I guess time will tell. But this feels a little better. Let me put my crates back. All right, kind of changed some of the design here a little bit. But Yeah, that works. I threw a barrel in here. I wish I could have a weathered barrel. That would look really nice. But that still looks good. And then we're going to stick some wooden enclosures, like right here. I wanted to see how these looked. Yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty cool. I wouldn't normally use these because they just don't, I don't know. They just feel like really, like if I built a fence, this is what it would look like. You know what I mean? But it kind of works really well here. And it makes me not want to put wooden enclosures or fences along the entire edge of the path, just in spots like this where, you know, it feels a little more important. Like, we don't want people stumbling into the really rare and ancient fossils. Now, while I'm at it, let me replace some of this with grass. This just kind of got exposed from us doing some terraforming, so we can make this look a little more natural again. And this is a really good spot because I figured what I can do, and the reason I didn't unveil the power plant just yet, is I figure I can put down a windmill or two right here, and we can power this area with good old-fashioned wind power. So I'll need a shopping list, but basically I have to go buy a windmill, maybe two. I don't know, two would be cool looking, just for fun, but some of you in the comments have been reminding me and trying to teach me and educate me on the mechanics used in this game when it comes to power. And there are a lot of limitations. I did also look them up on Cerebi. I don't have them in front of me, but there's only so many power producing items you can place down. I pulled it up. So you can have no more than 64 generators in your game. Like, and I assume that goes for this entire Cloud Island. So that would be any combination of mini generators, windmills, water wheels, or furnaces. And as we know, I have a lot of mini generators. We know there's 4 water wheels in the sewers of the city. And yeah, I lost count of mini generators a long time ago. So I'd love to just put 2 windmills just for fun. But I think I'll put 2 windmills if I need 2 windmills. There are things I want to power, but mostly it's just lights and stuff. So nothing too big. I think 1 windmill will probably cover us. Let's go buy one. They're very cheap. We could buy as many as we want. We'll just get one for $150. And then I think I want to try a small office kit. I could do multiples of these. I just want one. And this is because I think it kind of makes sense for this area, I guess. I have like something in mind for how I'm like conceptualizing this area in terms of its lore. My thought process is basically there's like a discovery of some fossils, right? So they start digging and they're like, oh my gosh, there's like dead dinosaurs up here. That's going to be worth some money. So it just starts with like a tent, but then because they keep finding them, they're installing more stuff. It's a larger operation now. So I figured maybe a couple offices up here for like processing ancient artifacts and stuff could be kind of cool. Like maybe this area is an extension of the museum, right? The museum is where we have a few fossil displays. It doesn't have enough room for all of them. So maybe we could even display some of the fossils out here. But this is like maybe the area of the Cloud Island that kind of fuels the museum. There's a lot of artifacts and stuff they're finding here, and they ship them down to the city museum. I've thought a lot about what I could do to kind of like justify some of the different types of towns I was going to be building all over this Cloud Island. I knew it would just be towns and stuff. Like I guess I'm kind of boring in that way. Other people might build giant, 3D sculptures or pixel art things and things like that. I'm just like, I just want towns and roads. Who knows? Maybe once I scratch this itch, I'll start another Cloud Island in the future where I, do more wacky stuff like that. But right now, I'm really feeling some, I don't know, civil engineering, I guess. Our small office can go somewhere over here then. Small is doing a lot of heavy lifting. What do you mean small office? Can I even imagine this without putting it on a bunch of grass blocks? No, it won't let me imagine it. I have to like find a big enough area just to see how big this thing actually is. Okay, so if I put this here, okay, yeah, that's a little bit larger than I was thinking, and it's a little bit closer to the train station than I was kind of wanting. I wanted it a couple tiles away from where I'm going to build this path. So we'll flatten this out a little bit more. The path is going to be over here, and it can step down from the train station. That's totally fine, but it'll step down onto this more flat kind of area. We'll have our gravel kind of going this way. We'll just start to create a road in this direction. And our office was going to go somewhere over here. So I guess I'm going to have to like bulk this up. And I do have a little bit of room before I have to do some major terraforming on the edges of the cliffs here. I want it to look natural from, all angles, right? So if I could do this, maybe tuck some blocks in here. Okay, it's a little less than natural looking, but what does something like this look like? Okay, I think we can actually afford to put it here, and then we just got to put some dirt right in here. I am out of like the kinds of dirt I need for this area. I never build with these types of blocks. Okay, let's imagine what this looks like. And now it's a little bit farther away from the path. I assume it's going to look pretty good. Yeah, that feels a lot better to me. So now we have this office building. It might need some change up on the colors of certain blocks being used, but that's easy enough to do. It gives us a foundation to work with. I'm honestly second guessing this whole idea, like seeing it next to our train station, which has like a very specific kind of style. I am a little bit worried, but again, if we focus on the lore aspect of this place, like people coming into an area like this, they don't care, right? They really don't care about the buildings matching the aesthetic of you know, a dig site community, whatever that is. They're just building office buildings. So I think it's fine, but I might make some changes anyway. All right, let's put the windmill, I guess like kind of right over here. Maybe this will look pretty good. I guess this will look cool. The only problem with it is it's a little too close to the cliff, and it, you know, maybe placing down power lines will be a little bit weird. Maybe it could look kind of cool right here, actually. Yeah, kind of next to the tent like that, in that nice wooden structure and stuff. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. All right, I'm gonna put it here. It's gonna make power lines even more wacky, but I'm doing it anyway. And you might be thinking, power lines? Like, what? Really? You want to do power lines after all this time you've spent investing in wireless transmitters? And yes, I want to do power lines as well, because I am going for a more unfinished, rustic kind of look out here. And the power lines add a lot of busyness to the landscape, right? There's wires everywhere now and posts, and I actually think that'll serve this area well for the vibe I'm going for. Okay, let's go unveil the power plant. And we will have the Pokemon, or at least some of the Pokemon who helped us with the power plant, start work on some of these new builds. I'm probably only going to be able to grab 5 of them before they all kind of run away, but that's okay. At least some of them will be with us, and that'll be good because we can start work on another project right away. Where is Tinkaton? Tinkaton would be the person in charge, or the Pokemon in charge of this entire project. Everyone's just kind of scattered all around it. All right, we got to find them. Oh, here we go. Okay. The last place I could possibly look. All right, here we go. Our first legendary Pokemon as well. There it is. I mean, what am I worried about with this area that we're building? We're going to have this monstrosity by this, you know, dig site. It's going to be a mess. This area is just going to be kind of thrown together in a messy kind of way. And that's okay. All right, abandoned power plant is complete. There's even like some room to spare behind it. There's a whole little trough of tiles all the way around it that I'm gonna need to fill in with some grass because that's really going to bother me. All of these lighting effects you see are from Zapdos. So let's go introduce ourselves. We've never seen this before. Well, hopefully it's not a spoiler. You're watching a Pokopia YouTube series. But yeah, to get all the legendary birds, you need to build the 3 big temples, if you will, and this is one of them. I would say this is probably everyone's least favorite because it's big and ugly, and the worst part about it is it's an abandoned power plant. It doesn't even actually generate any power. You just get a Pokemon from it, and a lot of people tear it down, but the problem with doing that is that you can't get another one. It's made of blocks. You could steal all this stuff for yourself. You could rebuild it block by block if you want and put it somewhere else, but you can't pick it back up. You can't order another one. It's kind of an oversight, if you ask me. But Zapdos is now registered in our Cloud Island Pokedex. We're going to have them follow us because I need a flying type for the office building, and Zapdos is a flying type, so that works out really well. And everyone's already wandering off, so I'm going to try to get... Wait! I'm going to try to get a party with us to start building some of this stuff. Please don't go yet. Please, hold on, especially Tinkaton. Ooh, hopefully this is a slate. By the way, I did find some more slates last night, so today... Remind me. Oh, this is an Eevee doll. Remind me, we got to put those slates on the canvas. What do you want to call it? And hopefully, we'll start to see a picture coming together. Okay, we have our party of 5, and I have some pretty helpful Pokemon in terms of the types of jobs they can fulfill on a job site. Let's go ahead and get them working on the windmill and office building. So with Tinkaton and Machop working on this windmill, it should only take a few minutes, and then I can move them over to the office building, and then I'll try to rally some other Pokemon. Maybe there's some Pokemon lingering from the last job that we can start throwing on the office build. I'll throw Tinkaton on that one as well, but just I want everyone else waiting. And yeah, we only need 2 flying types and then a builder of some sort. So we got Girder for that. But yeah, Tinkaton will fill that role. We just need 4 more Pokemon. Let's go see who we can get who is still here. Probably nobody. Wait, we can see them out there. Oh, wait. I feel so bad that they just all slowly walk back. What's also weird is that they can actually grab their own minecarts and, you know, drive around whenever they want. And I have a track that would get them to their destination a lot faster. And they don't think to use it. But I built all this infrastructure. They're certainly allowed to use it. Okay, so we only need one more Pokemon for this building, and we're just gonna steal them in a few minutes from the windmill build. Once the windmill's built, I can start placing down power lines. So let's go ahead and craft some of those. I haven't used these since the story in the game, so it's kind of fun to like go back to using these and figuring out like what makes the most sense for where they should be placed. I think in this town, the chic street lights will look really good. So we're gonna put some of those. I'm not thinking I'll overdo it with these. Famous last words, I know. Let's see how it looks right here. We have a spot here, and yeah, this corner is good and cluttered now. I like it a lot. I need to figure out how to do something similar here. In the meantime, though, I need to figure out a path back to the tent. That one that is not necessarily the same as the main path of the whole town. So I was thinking it'd be some stairs right here, right? And then I was thinking just a little too wide path that brought you right up to here. Should I make that out of gravel? Let's just see what it looks like. Let's do this, and then just kind of have it come up here like this. And yeah, I suppose that works. Oh, windmill's already done. We can put some blocks here to kind of like block off the gravel a little bit. I've made a mess. We'll actually tuck some stairs right here, and I should probably put some gravel underneath them. And that would be our path going down to the actual dig site itself. I can get rid of this block. And I don't know, I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's unveil this sucker. Okay, this looks nice. I do like the windmills a lot. They do add something, not just height, but animation. They just make the place feel more alive. If I start with a utility pole, like almost anywhere out here, it looks like it does connect to our street light. So what if we put the utility pole, I don't know, like right here behind the barrel. Oh, it said something was in the way. I guess we do need one that's kind of lined up with the windmill too. So, okay, we'll put one right here. And that means we can actually take this one and go quite a distance from the first one and do that. That'll hit the street light. And that gives us the ability to line the path with the power lines like this. And yeah, I'd say that looks pretty good. I did not consider what I should do with the train station though. Should I have them come out and go over the tracks? Should I just kind of use the generators that are already in the train station to continue adding power lines? Because I could probably go from here. And I think I've just hooked my mini generators up to the grid. So if I put a power line right here, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be the mini generators in this build plus the windmill all contributing to the same power network. And this right here is the maximum distance for the power line. So this should hit the office building. It probably just won't hit the back of the office building, so I'll have to figure that out. We'll throw down a chic street light right at the corner. Uh-oh, I forgot to take my Pokemon and bring them to the next build. Uh-oh, they probably ran away. Why is it that they're so annoying? Like, when you're just trying to do something, you're building in town or whatever, they constantly come up to you. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, will you take a quiz? Hey, do you want to play hide and seek? Hey, what if we went on a treasure hunt? And then when you actually give them stuff to do, you're like, actually, I could use your help with something. Like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right. Like, don't you want to hang out more? Like, I just don't understand. I don't get the logic. Actually, I don't know. I guess now that I think about it, I really only ask them for favors. So maybe that's it. They want to do fun stuff. And I'm like, actually, could you make an entire power plant for me? And so they're like, oh, this guy doesn't really want to be my friend. So I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that they do want to get away from me as fast as they possibly can when they finish the project. But still, it just, like, could they just not be so annoying? All right, Tinkaton is here. Let's go ahead and get them assigned, and we'll start this build. I think this will only take an hour at most. Oh, it says done tomorrow. Oops. I did not make Tinkaton the lead builder. So that is on me. Oh, no. All right, well, my plan was to just keep designing the actual town itself. I was hoping to have that building today, but it's fine. It's fine. I guess that's what I get for not paying attention. I'm trying to decide what the town needs because I don't have a ton of ideas. It's actually not a huge space. After I put down that office building, I realized just how narrow this entire spot is. And I'm just kind of working with what I got. So I could definitely fit a couple smaller houses up here and stuff. That's not an issue, but it is kind of a matter of like just how many can I fit. So normally what I would do is I would like spend time placing paths everywhere and then kind of deciding, okay, there'll be a house here, a house there. But here, yeah, there's just not like a ton of space. I think what I would like to do is figure out how to build a couple houses over here. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to first place down the railroad track because it's going to take up, you know, a good amount of room. My thought is I would have it come down one block like this, and I'd actually terraform out these blocks. We'll have it come straight across. I've kind of talked about this before. And then it needs to go down. And will it go down through a tunnel, or will it go down just on the outside of the mountain? I'm thinking tunnel makes more sense. So I'll probably do a tunnel. And then I need to figure out just how big this pyramid is going to be, because this is also one of the parts of this build. And it's going to make a lot of decisions for us in terms of what we can and can't fit here. I knew it was large. Don't make fun of me. It's larger than I thought it would be. Like I'm still moving back, and it's just about here where I'm like, okay, I could conceivably terraform out a space for this, but it's sticking out a lot more than I was anticipating. So I'll put it here for now. I thought I'd have this room for my railroad track, but it looks like I'm gonna have to maybe consider putting that out here by the beach covered in disgusting confetti cake oil. Okay, you know what? This is a problem for tomorrow's episode. Let's go over here and just figure out the little town we're planning on building. I'm gonna get distracted. All right, so the track goes through here. It does need to stop a little bit early because it is going to be going underground. So I'm gonna be making a pretty steep drop, and I don't want it to like pop out the side of the cliff before we're ready for it to pop out the side of the cliff. So let me back this off a little bit more. There's no amount of like space that's too far back. You know what I mean? For something like this. So maybe right here is where the track starts to go down. So I will signal that with one of these just right there. And we can place track when I craft more. Let's get the borders set up. That'll be these blocks here lining the sides. I'll need to make more. Okay, so it looks kind of like that. And this is great because now I can start to think about the actual paths going to and from. So let me take this tree away. We'll take this grass. We can just make more of this. And we have another thing we got to consider. I made a staircase going down to the power plant that I don't intend on filling in. I think I should actually turn this into a proper staircase. So it kind of decides our intersection for us because now we can just do this, heading over to this area where we're thinking about putting some plots for houses, right? First, let's fill this in with grass. I guess that means our street light would just be at the corner of this intersection right here. That makes sense. And then we'll have this path come out to about here. And I think what we end up doing is putting a small house right here facing the path with the train track running behind it, which is not prime real estate. Honestly, might be able to fit like a few homes over here. That could be kind of cool. But I'm thinking our path comes out to about here, and then it starts to go up like this, and it crosses the railroad tracks. So there'll be like a little railroad crossing thing. Maybe we can signal that like this, so we kind of break up the wooden path, but we have the tracks right here. You know, good luck to everybody who dares to cross this bit of street. I terraformed it down a little bit, but yes, this path comes over to here, and we're almost done, I think. We'll have it come out to about here, and there'll be like another house somewhere over here that just kind of sits, maybe facing the train station like that. And in terms of housing, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Everything else will be kind of like in a weird spot, like too close to the cliffs, and I don't know. I don't really see a point in doing that. The only other thing I can see doing is maybe putting another house over here, like just facing the main path. And maybe it could be like a bit larger or something. It could be another office building, maybe like 2 office buildings here to kind of really like signify that this is the research area. I'm going to wait on that though to see how I feel about the actual like, you know, whole research area concept in the first place. Let's take these power lines though and start to think about how many we need, how far we want them to go, how many streetlights do we want. If we're putting houses here, we gotta watch out for that because we're gonna have power lines everywhere. We're gonna have houses in front of the power line or power lines in front of the houses. I've placed the streetlights kind of evenly, so there's 8 tiles between each one. I like that. If I'm gonna put a house over here and presumably a streetlight or 2, I could also take the power line here and have it kind of cut across this area, so over to here. I just don't like that there be a wire like at eye level when you're coming down the stairs. I do like the wires in this case, but I don't want it to like, I don't want anyone to have to, I did it here too. Oh gosh. I do wonder if there's some merit to having them literally like right behind the streetlights, and we kind of deliberately clutter it up even more like this. If I remove this, will it? No, they don't connect. So yeah, I do need one in between them. All right. Yeah, or maybe I can get rid of this one perhaps? No, that won't work. This is all the stuff I'll just have to sleep on, and maybe tomorrow I kind of change it up a little bit. But yeah, for now, I think that's gonna be what I end up doing. I think that'll look kind of neat. You know what I just realized while I was making a quick trip to town? I don't have the bricks going across the top of this train station like I did over here and on the other train station. There's a lot of little details I missed. We need to, this will probably be towards the end of the 30 days, but I'm gonna go back through and like fix a lot of the stuff that I just kind of, you know, let go. That'll have to be one of the things. Or I'll just do it sometime soon, just so I don't forget. I don't know. But yeah, I gotta make a list and just start like thinking about the things we need to do, you know, on or around day 30. I made some extra tracks just to kind of like make this part feel a little more complete. This will also make the railroad crossing feel kind of cool, I think. So there we go, that's a start. I made a gate, which I'm gonna put maybe like right here. And the reason I'm putting it not in the middle of the train station is because this is actually where people are gonna walk. I guess by that logic, I should probably replace these three tiles right here with the marble tile. Do I have any on me? I do, so yeah, we could do this and this. And that helps signal to people that, hey, you're supposed to walk over the tracks like this. The main thing I went shopping for, though, were more prefab buildings. And this, I think you'll be surprised, but like this time I'm thinking of using these pink huts. And they're too big. The reason I'm thinking about using the pink hut is because it's a good little baseline for a building. Like I can easily take this and kind of customize it however I want. I could change the pink walls to be whatever. I could change the roof. And it does actually fit perfectly in this spot. I just might want to sink it down into the ground. I definitely can't fit two side by side, though. That's probably out of the question. It would obviously be faster for me to just kind of like look at a picture of a pink hut and build my own. But I'm feeling kind of lazy. I have an entire town to plan. So just having a little prefab house, it's fine. I'm just gonna roll with it. All right, so my thought was that now I can like place this building exactly, yeah, right there. And once it's in the ground, I can put all the blocks back around it that I just took away. But that will keep it at the same level as the path. And I can, yeah, like I said, I can just easily in Magnet Rise mode change the colors of blocks and stuff. But I think it's the right size for this area. And it'll be the right bulkiness when sitting next to this office build, which is also like a prefab block building. I guess that also means the one I want to put right here is going to need the same treatment where it gets dug into the ground again, because I don't think I want it sitting that high. And I guess I got to put it back one too. So I have to maybe build it about right here. So the stairs kind of, not stairs, but the front entrance of the build will, yeah, it'll just kind of sit with the path. All right, we'll put it here and I will dig another pit. By the way, if you're doing this, putting a block or something in the middle is the easiest way because you get to see the outline of the build, but it won't, if you don't have the block here, it won't let you edit the terrain. But because this terrain doesn't work, it's like, okay, we're gonna let you place this down, but you actually have to like fit it into the spot before we let you like finalize it. So because I did this the way I did this with a block in it, now I can actually dig out this pit and I can see what I'm doing. I was just gonna have to keep guessing the dimensions before. So from here, I can just pick this up and now I can do whatever I need to do. In this case, I need to trade out the ground underneath, just to, you know, just because I feel like it, with the barren soil. Actually, no, I don't, because I'm gonna be putting in blocks around it. So just ignore me. All right, so now I can put this right here. And I should probably just throw some supplies in them. There we go, just like that. So we're gonna have a house over there, a house over here. We're gonna have the office building. We're gonna house a good amount of Pokemon up here. And then we're thinking one more office over here. Instead of that, though, I got this prefab. I can't imagine it because it is, the terrain is too much. But I'm gonna put it maybe a little bit farther back. I think I can get it to line up with this path, actually. No, no, I cannot. It is a 4-wide entrance, or a 2-wide entrance. So actually what I'm gonna do is kind of move it to the side, intentionally way off the path, like that. and we'll have the path kind of like twist over to the left, and we'll put like a little staircase going up to it. That'll be fine. So yeah, I'll just have to fill this in real quick. We'll throw in our supplies, and yeah, tomorrow when I don't make the mistake of having my best building Pokemon on a project that's going to take a whole day, I'll be able to actually knock some of these out. I'm going to move this gate one back, just like that. And yeah, that'll be get as close to the middle as I can. I do wish I could have it in the middle, but this works. We need to design this place though. It's kind of sad. There's nothing here. So I do have a couple things, namely a vending machine. So I can place that maybe right here. And I have to decide what kind of seats I want. And I think public seats again will be the way to go. But there's also, pop art chair could work. That could be kind of cool actually. I'll just do public. I actually want to see what kind of colors I can dye these. So we're going to make 9 public seats. I'm also going to throw in a recycling bin. Put the recycling bin here. And that is actually a habitat, but I think we already got all the Pokemon from that habitat. And I was going to say, I want to see what color we can make the public seats. And I do, but the vending machine is red. I don't think we can paint it. Actually, let me just double check that. No, it does not have a paint icon. So because the vending machine is red and the seats are the same color red, we'll just keep them this way. So yeah, plenty of seating, and we do have a vending machine set up. Probably should have left room for a plant. Could still do that in the future, but this is good. Let's throw in one of these signs. I'll have a point this way. I could have a point that way. Could have a point any way I want. I wish I could label them, but this is just for the stairs going down to the power plant, which while we're here, we might as well make the staircase. That's all the gravel I had on my person. I have more back home, but it gets us at least almost to the front of the power plant. I could probably just have it connect. I forgot the power plant has a really big area here. I could have it connect here, but it does also have the staircase here. I don't know. You can edit these however you want. Maybe I actually edit this so the little staircase is filled in with stone blocks, and we just kind of have the entrance right here. I'll figure that out. In the meantime, let's add in our stairs. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. We have a quick way to and from the power plant, which we'll never need to walk to, by the way. There's just no... I'm kicking a lot of cans in this series, but there's just no reason to ever come to this place. Because it's here, I feel obligated to put some kind of, path to it. But I'm not going to need it. Now, there's just a few more things I want to do before I move on to the next assignment for today. And that is just try to decorate a little bit more. And I'm trying to use different types of items, but it's difficult. There's just not a lot of stuff at my disposal, I feel like. So I'm going to use a couple of carts. We'll just kind of put them side by side like this. We'll load them up with some stuff, kind of like that. The idea is it's bringing supplies over to the folks working in the dig site area. And it kind of adds a little more, I don't know. It adds more separation, I guess, between the dig site and the rest of this little town that's starting to develop around it. Honestly, I just need some taller items, so I might have to figure that out. Then I made a few of these signs. This one is to designate the dig site. I'll put this one here for now. It's to designate the research center. So I just feel like this building will look even more official, a little sign out front. And while I'm at it, I'll probably put one over here too. These 2 signs are gonna get moved once the buildings are done. And because I have them, I'll throw some tools over here. And then the thing that makes the research center such a cool part of this build, the thing that makes it a research center, is that they are going to be starting to assemble the large fossils. So some of our, not all of them, but some of the large fossils will live here instead of the museum. It'll give me a way to kind of house all the fossil Pokemon if I manage to collect them in time for this challenge. And I won't have to clutter the museum or expand it or feel bad that I didn't make it large enough. So what I thought I would try is just, and this is kind of a sample, I might have to move the whole contraption or arrangement once we get things actually built out. But what I thought I would try is putting one of these down here. So the display stand, instead of standing above ground, would sit here, and the fossil, it would make it look like the fossils being carefully reassembled. These pieces were just dug up out of the ground, and they're carefully reassembling them above ground, just right here before they ship them off to the museum, right? I'll have to make this one a little bit more narrow, but yeah, you get the idea. So I believe it connects like that, and then there'll be a back piece for the body, and then a tail, which the tail will just kind of float above ground there. That's fine. And we can make another one next to it. So this will be the Despot Fossil, and I also have the Tundra Fossil head, but the Despot Fossil, I have another Despot Fossil head, but we have one Despot Fossil head in the dig site area down there. I don't mind using kind of the similar fossils that we're finding in the dig site over here. That's fine by me. I'm happy to get any of these Pokemon, honestly, because I'll have a source of stone finally. And that's the other cool thing. I'm going to fence this in, and then they will have a proper place to live. and I can just come over here whenever I need stone. So all of this is very work in progress. I need to move on now to the other tasks I've set aside for myself, stuff I've been putting off for a bit. First, we need to put the mysterious slates in here just to see where we're at. We're nowhere close still, but I'm just glad I have some more to share with the big mysterious slate board. A lot of them are for this side. That's kind of interesting. All right, that is how we're looking on mysterious slate so far. I don't know. I'm pretty nervous about this one. And then the other thing I would like to do is get some of these artifacts identified. This is going to take a little bit. I have quite a few. And I also don't have a ton of storage. My chest, well, I mean, this chest could probably handle them for now. But yeah, it will probably lead to me having to make a whole chest just for rare artifacts, which is fine. But the artifacts are important because they have a lot of cool stuff attached to them, stuff that will allow me to have more Pokemon living here, like, because I can invite, you know, new Pokemon with the stuff that I get, making their habitats finally. And there's some really cool decorations in the bunch as well. So I'm just kind of emptying my inventory a little bit right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and start getting these identified. Now it's time to appraise our stuff. And what's good about appraising things on your Cloud Island is that they are really quick compared to, like, Professor Tangrowth is really quick at appraising things over the computer compared to like doing it in person. So if ever you want to like get more speed out of appraising stuff, use the Pokemon Center computer on your Pallet Town or in your Cloud Island. Of course, the Cloud Island is different inventory, but yeah, whenever you can use the appraise button in this computer, it's a lot faster. What's also really awesome about having all of these artifacts is like I said, there's decorations in here, but they're also like things we can put in our museum that aren't just fossils. Okay, I got a model space shuttle that time, and I think that was all of my large artifacts. Yes, so I got a spacesuit and a space shuttle. Those things would be perfect for the museum if we want to make a little space area. I don't know if we will or not. And now I just need to do all the little ones. And these, I'll be honest, this is kind of just an inventory waster for me. All you can do with these is put them in frames. So I could just make a wall of frames that have one of each item in them, I guess. By the way, if you've never played any Pokemon game before and Pokopia is your first introduction to Pokemon, all of these items in the small containers, they're all things that in the main Pokemon games you can give your Pokemon during battle that helps enhance some kind of effect. You know, for example, I don't know what any of these do off the top of my head, but Mystic Water could maybe charge up water moves. So, stuff like that. So if you're ever curious about where these came from, that's where they come from. And I wish we could do more than just put them in frames, I'll be honest, because these items would be cool little things to put on tables or other stuff in some cases. Ultimately, what these are for is filling out your collection log. It's just more stuff to collect. But okay, so this tab here and this tab here, basically almost everything in this tab, those are the things we got from the appraisals. And we got the photo cutout board, which could be a habitat. I think Raichu sign could be part of a habitat. We got the Pikachu sofa. Like, we got some really cool stuff. For now, we're going to put the rugs in here, and I'll keep the Team Rocket wall hangable on me because that's part of a habitat. Actually, I'll put all the large artifacts in this rare items chest. They're all categorized as toys and stuff. They have their homes, but for now, I'm putting them in here. I will probably forget and wonder why there's all this junk in my rare items chest. We'll see. Then I'm going to make 14 frames and head to the museum, where I guess I'm just going to put them down across the walls. I think the way to do this would literally be to just kind of like place them here, and we'll put stuff in them. Funny enough, 14 is exactly how many frames fit across this entire wall, and 14 is exactly how many items I just got from all of the from all of the appraising we just did. The ones that can hang in wall items anyway. I can't interact with the frames in Magnet Rise mode though. I have to like sit all the way down here to put stuff in them. That's kind of annoying. Huh, maybe I can't count. I thought I had 14 items. Well, it's fine. We'll get more. So yeah, all right. That seems like a good use of those, and it adds a little bit of color to the museum, makes it a little less boring. And you know, museums are supposed to be fun. There's supposed to be things to look at in there. So I think that those, you know, that serves that role. Well, I got a lot of planning done today, but with all this going on, I don't feel like I'm too behind schedule. So tomorrow we'll continue working up here a little bit, and maybe we'll start getting our railroad tracks moved on to the next area. Join us for that. The video's on screen now if it's ready. I'll see you over there. Goodbye.